can see I did basically fill the whole chimney up, cooked it down, got them really hot. They cooked down to almost about half or less. And I split that up between the 2 barrels. It's like a high school marching band. Coming in with the Mavic XR. I love these things. They're not the most expensive and they work really well. So what I do is I run this through one of the sides, then I tie it in a knot or just around it and I let it hang just like that, boom. That's gonna tell me what the temp of my pit is. Let's check our git, open up our hole, now we're jamming. So today we're not probing our ribs because I never probe ribs or I never ever check them for temperature. This is strictly just to check our pits. So in the pit barrels today, we're gonna be cooking about 265 to 300, and sometimes it will get to 325. It's kind of the nature of these things once they get going. It's all about controlling these things with the little valve at the bottom and the lid. I use the lid to get it up to temperature sometimes too. See, our first one's already at 230, so I need to get those ribs back on. Okay, she's jamming. Gotta shut her down. So there we go, rocking the Prairie Fresh ribs today. As always, I love these things. Now I've tried all of them. Believe me, I have ordered all of them. Compart's free, it's amazing. I can't afford it. So I get Prairie Fresh, and honestly, they do a great job every time. Look at the fat striations in there. I mean, that's pretty darn decent. First things first, let's trim these down a little bit. Now, I usually cut this little bit of fat on this top bone. Sometimes I cut this bone off. Now you can use a butter knife for this. There's 2 membranes here. I'm actually going under both of them. This will expose the one I want and it'll catch and tear. Paper towel is the only way to really do this. Other than that, it's just too slippery. And then you just wrap that around the towel and rock and roll. If you don't do it, you will get a plasticky piece of material that kind of cooks and it almost looks like dried cellophane by the end of it. So it's really not pleasant experience with the ribs. So I always peel them. Next up, sriracha. This is my choice of binder. A lot of people use mustard, as you know, but sriracha has just always been my favorite. Coming in first, B&B Texas Trinity. This stuff is awesome. This gives me a nice flavor base. I'm using all stuff that you can order from Ace or get here at Ace. And of course, the famous Blues Hog. It's the first time using this, so I'm pretty excited to try it. A little bit of press and flip. Repeat. All right, 2 bones up, hook goes in. All right, let's go hang these dogs. 282, I like it. Got room for 2 more in here, boys. Just spray the crap out of them about every 15 minutes, and then they're ready to rock. As you can see, we're riding at 230, and I've got it wide open. So this is where you crack the lid a little bit and try to induce a little bit more oxygen in here. Try to get this thing up to 300, 325. Usually 265 is where I cook them, but we're gonna push it a little bit today. That beautiful rib. Doing mini version of competition. We're giving them a little bit of the taste of how it's done, but I'm trying not to kill them like we do the judges. Beautiful rib, look at that. Hit it with just a little bit of apple cider. And we are now an hour away from ribs or less. Be eating in 10, folks. So our pits are 293 and 310. That's right in the window. 315, 325 is as far as I want to go. So we're sort of hot and fast in these ribs a little bit, you know, to get them going for the public. 3 bits of butter. A little bit of brown sugar, very accurate measurement. A little bit of Blues Hog, keep some spice going down there when it's bubbling. Beautiful organic honey, love this stuff, really good. Now I do all my stuff on the bottom of the rib, I don't put any on the back. I find it to be completely irrelevant. Woohoo. That bad dog, ready to rock. Oh yeah. So I don't put a ton of liquid in there. I just literally quick spray on the back of it. That's it. All right, so what I do is I just fold this. I try to just get it as much air out of it as I can, so really tight. I don't care if the seam's at the bottom because it's double fold, it's double layered. And that's all just squished down as tight as I can get it. Put a grill grate on there and put these back on the grill. Boom. Wait an hour, maybe less. I'll check them in 30. because they can cook in the wrap a little quick. Then we'll take them out of the wrap, let them settle for a second, a little bit of light sauce mixed with a little bit of the oil that came out of the ribs, and then boom, tack them up ready to serve. 95th birthday here at Ace. Pretty awesome. All right, these ribs are ready for the grabbing, but they are hot. So you have this pullback right here, and then when you pick up the rib, you see that meat pulling away from the rib right there? That's my sign right there. I know that rib's ready. Yeah, these smoked for 3 hours before they went in the foil. And so now they're ready just for a little bit. This is barbecue sauce and a little bit of the rendered fat from the ribs themselves. Yes, ma'am. You got to keep the ribs wet in order for them to really get smoke in them. So you keep spraying them every 20 minutes or so. They should be bite off the bone ready.
Wow, these are delicious. All right, there it is. That's a 10.
Yeah?
That's bomb. Yeah.
Is that? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm not, you know, fishing for it.
That's good. That's
All right. Happy customers. All right, we got to test the product here. Nice looking pretty rib.
Thank you.
Perfect bite. Perfect bite.
I'm gonna grab another one.
Oh, I'm all piggied out, porked out. That was awesome. Carlos jammed it over here, dropping burgers, hot dogs, smoked chicken. We had ribs going. Every about 45 minutes, the ribs were coming out. I had a little cycle going finally. And we knocked out a ton of racks of ribs and everyone was happy. Love it when I get those. This might have been the best rib of my life. Now they probably say that every time they get a free rib, but it's still nice to hear because we know we're doing something right. And the products were awesome. Everyone's asking about B&B, which, you know, as a B&B ambassador, that means a lot. People want to know about it, and that's really cool. They get it at acehardware.com, and pretty soon right here at my local Ace, because Liz is going to let me stock the shelves. So that's pretty sweet. Well, there you go. Another episode of Barbecue It. A little crazy, a little hectic, but we had a lot of fun because, you know, barbecuing's fun, man. So thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, share it, ring the bell, all that jazz. Here comes some credits. $2.19.
And then how long do you cook them?
It's all depends on how they look and feel. Usually about 3 hours of smoke.
Yeah.
Then they wrap for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Then they get unwrapped and laid on the grill and get tacked up with sauce. So three-step process.
So it's a process. And then what?
Backyard cooking, it's all just preference what you want to do. Obviously here we're cooking for the public to celebrate the 95th birthday of Ace Hardware, which is amazing when you think about it. And when you think about how much competition's out there for hardware stores, so they always hold it down. And thank God they're here in our hometown. We got one in Gloucester and one in Rockport, so I'm glad they have enough around for us to save the day about 300 times a year.
I take two?
Yes, ma'am. If you want to, you take two.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Doing good. Grab yourself a rib, man.
Why not?
Why not?
The fruits of life.
Exactly. And then when they're wrapped, they have a little bit of butter, a little bit of honey, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of the rub again. And then I spray them with apple cider. Don't really pour any in there, just spray it real quick on the back. It goes meat down, you wrap it. That's after 3 hours of smoke. Then they go back in the cooker for about an hour. Then they come out of the cooker and they get tacked up with sauce, which looks like this.
Nice.
There's a lot of stuff on there, but these are the two rubs that are on there, and that's the sauce. It's a really good quality for the price.
It's real premium.
Well, this has been pretty awesome. What do you say, Carlos?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You put out some food over there, man. And hustling some food.
Yep. Good day for eating.
Yes. God,
Outdoors, too.
nice day. And look, the sun is just now coming around.
Come on.
Just as we're finishing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. It's competition light style. You just, man, sometimes they just have the right smell. And they do, man. They have that. So that's the smell you want, man. It's good pork. Honestly, it's 90% of it's that prairie fresh rib.
Yeah, your timing is perfect. That's Craig Kimberley. He's supposed to barbecue it, which is not moving.
Oh man, we got